Coming up from our 10th Masters of the FIBA 3x3 World Tour 2019 season in Nanjing, as we return to a country where basketball in 3x3 is a religion, China. We chat with New York Harlem newcomer Kadani Brutus, who opens up about 3x3, providing him a hoops lifeline. Plus, Edmonton's Jordan Baker talks about the evolution of 3x3 having returned to the circuit this season after a 7-year absence. And professional high flyer Joe Henry talks about how being a vegan has helped him become an even better dunker. Plus, you know you gotta stay tuned to the end of the magazine. We got a can't miss top 5 plays of the tournament. It's quick, it's epic, it's Olympic. Welcome to the world of FIBA 3x3 basketball, a game played with non-stop music on a half court between two teams of 3 players aiming to hit 21 points before 10 minutes of game time. Previously at the FIBA 3x3 World Tour, we crowned new champs in LA, with Princeton thrilling the home fans and beating Lehman to win their first ever Masters title. Without superstar Robbie Hummel, Kareem Maddox provided the fireworks in La 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 Land. That was bad, I know, but he wasn't bad, got MVP. Can Lehman rebound in Nanjing? Competition's gonna be fierce, with powerhouses Novi Sad and Riga Ghetto looking to return to their winning ways. America's hopes this time revolve around New York Harlem. Can they continue the USA success on the World Tour? Let's find out. The New York Harlem boys put on a show like Apollo Day 1. Their opener against number 5 seeds Team Amsterdam was a challenge, but the New Yorkers made it look easy, with Marcel Esenwune flying through the breezes. You could have called these dudes the Harlem Globetrotters when Esenwune got up to get down on this alley-oop. But the Dutchmen, they weren't intimidated and even led by 3 with less than 3 minutes to go. Then Disco Damo said, "I had enough of this." He made the court his personal dance floor. My man scored 4 straight points to give New York Harlem the lead, but this was gonna be crazier than the Joker's ending. With the scores tied in the dying stages, Disco Damo hit 2 insane 2-pieces, and he called game, finishing with an incredible 14 points. New York Harlem were just warming up, and they destroyed Chongming YM in the second fastest game of the World Tour this year. This time it was Kadani Brutus' turn, as he splashed 5 2-pieces en route to 13 points as New York Harlem got the job done. World number 1 seeds, Novi Sad, weren't to be outdone and were the only team on day 1 to win both games before the limit. First off, Novi Sad overcame a slow start against Utsunomiya from Japan, with sharpshooter Dejan Majstorovic, aka the Maestro, finding his range like Rover. The Maestro was getting easy buckets, and of course got some help from Dushan Bullet, aka Mr. Bulletproof, and the deadly duo continued to play the 1-2 game to perfection. Mr. Bulletproof finished off the 22-15 win in style. Novi Sad did it even easier against the locals Wu Jin, who just couldn't handle Mr. Bulletproof. He was perfect on 1-pointers and then decided to challenge himself by stepping outside. Same result, wet. Bullet went bang bang to finish with 12 points, and Novi Sad won well under the time limit. Number 2 seeds Lehman and Montreal Masters runners-up Edmonton have built a competitive rivalry, and this game was no different. Steve Sir had the shooter's touch and had us minding our manners all day long, saying yes sir, as Edmonton started off fast, but the tour's leading scorer Mihailo Vasquez had more fakes than a college student ID. And then Lehman took control through some pretty passing. A Stefan Quaid step back, you don't know me like that, provided the dagger, and Lehman prevailed 17-14. The game between number 3 seeds Riga Ghetto and Montreal Masters champ Shake Gubale had more hype than the Breaking Bad film. The Lithuanians started better, but with Norris Miezis crossing them up like a priest, Riga Ghetto got it rolling. Marius Ujupis got the friendly bounce, and the Latvians, meantime, went cold without their main man Carlos Lasmanis. Paulus Belavicu sealed the deal as Shake Gubale upset the Doha and Prague Masters champs. Riga Ghetto had to defeat New York City to advance, and it looked like they might be in trouble in this thriller. It went down to the wire before Robin proved he didn't need no Batman, as Mieses became Riga's superhero. Artur Strelnieks wrapped up the tough 21-19 victory to lift Riga Ghetto into the quarters. Day one was action-packed, but the top 8 seeds make it through. New York City unluckily bowed out. Chinese teams Shanghai SSLC, Chongming YM, and Wujin also knocked out of there. American favorites New York Harlem have taken the world tour by storm this season. One of the main reasons is that dude, Kadani Brutus. We should start calling him direct deposit, because my man is automatic money. The 3x3 newcomer had basketball in his veins at an early age.
First started playing basketball, I was about 11 years old. You know, we used to have garbage cans, and we used to shoot on garbage cans. And we would put the dumpster or the garbage can in, like next to a gate, and that'd be the backboard. We would dunk in there, whatever. It would just be fun like that.
Now, Brutus admits initially he was hesitant about joining New York Harlem, but he fell in love with 3x3 at the Novi Side Challenge. From Hoops Haven, the Bronx, Brutus has started to promote 3x3 in his home borough.
In the Bronx, it's not there. People just want to play basketball, kids want to work out, kids want to look good for YouTube, they look good for Instagram, and the 3x3 isn't big in the Bronx, but I'll try to incorporate it, because the kids see me like, yo, you traveling the world, what are you doing, why you not here? You're not at work. I'm just like, I'm playing basketball, I'm at a 3x3 challenge, I'm here, I'm going to Masters. They're like, what's this? And I have to explain to them what it is. They're excited, they're happy for me too. Yo, he's doing this over here, he's in China, he's in Mexico City.
He doesn't just school opponents on the court. Brutus actually teaches professionally in his day job.
I love working with kids. I always had to be the man in the house. I had to grow fast. So when I would see kids and stuff like that, I work with them. I'm still their role model because they look up to me. They're with me most of the time. They're in the gym with me. They're asking me questions because sometimes they don't have people to talk to. So I just want to be there for them whenever they need someone to talk to. And they enjoy it. They want to work out. Like, hey, yo, can we work out in the gym? Sure, I got you. Come on, let's go. I know how it would be, you know, when you're just on your own and just like working out in the gym by yourself is just, it's dreadful. You know, but when you have someone there that supports you, it just feels so much better.
Enjoying life on the world tour, the 30-year-old is grateful 3x3 has provided a lifeline in the game he loves.
Got a tough time, even when I finished school. I wanted to play basketball and I couldn't. You know, I just wanted to play ball and stuff like that, and then it hit you like, no, you can't. Like, you know, I didn't have the opportunity to, so I had a deep depression and whatnot. And my mother's, my friends, they tell me to quit, and you know, just so happened 10 years later, I just got the opportunity to play basketball professionally, and it's just a great feeling right now. I'm just so, like, I'm blessed, really blessed. 3x3 has given me a great opportunity to showcase my talent and showcase our talent.
All right, here's a look at the quarterfinal bracket, which features 5 European teams, 2 from North America, and 1 from Asia. First off, Novi Sad and Riga Ghetto, winners of 4 Masters combined this season. They squared things off. Even without Carlos Lasmanis, this had more stars than Hollywood Boulevard. And it was Dushan Bullet, aka Mr. Bulletproof, shining brightest early. But Norris Mieses put on his Batman cape and turned the lights out on him. Apart from Bullet, Novi Sad struggled to score until Dejan Majstorovic decided to start attacking the rim. Bullet dropped bombs from deep to get the Serbs back in the game, but it didn't last long. Mieses found his new Robin as he teamed up with Artur Strelnieks to destroy Novi Sad on the pick and roll. No Lasmanis, no problem for Riga Ghetto, who make it through with a 21-15 win. Novi Sad fall in the quarters for the 3rd time this season.
We made our shots, but they just missed their shots, so that's why we get the win.
The Blockbusters continue with a battle of North American supremacy between New York Harlem and Edmonton. Disco Damo Jones grooved to the rim, but Steve Sir doubled down as Edmonton had an early lead. The New Yorkers' firepower was extinguished by Edmonton's D, but Disco Damo still found ways to score. Again, he was countered by Steve Sir, who went swish swish, and Edmonton started to pull away. Kyle Landry wasn't intimidated by block machine Marcel Esenwune, and his persistence paid off. The smooth-moving Jordan Jensen-White went at Marcel and finished it off with authority as Edmonton upset New York Harlem 21-15.
I think everybody who's familiar with Harlem now, given their huge levels of success on the World Tour, is if you even come a little bit off, they're going to jump all over you. So we just knew we had to come with our best effort from the start to the end.
With Novi Sad already eliminated, Lehman were the highest seed left, but they faced a big challenge against Amsterdam. It looked like it was going to be easy for the Serbs early with Mihailo Vasquez, the beast, in beast mode. Alexander Rakov was unstoppable inside and outside, and Lehman got out to a big lead. But this game flipped when DeMeo Vanderhorst went from Dutch to clutch. The Dutch could sniff an upset, but it only woke the sleeping giant. Maxim Kovacevic scored 4 points in the last 2 minutes as Lehman held him off for a 19-16 win.
They play all 10 minutes, they never give up, and it's always hard to play against them. Big respect for them also.
Montreal Masters champ Jacques Gubale were hot favorites to beat Utsunomiya, but were riding the hopes for all of Asia. It quickly became a battle between Aurelius Pukalis and Dusan Popovic. The Lithuanian had the size advantage, and he was unstoppable in the paint. And he was helped by sweet dimes set up from his teammates. But Utsunomiya also shared like they cared to keep the scores tight, and Popovic pulled out the party tricks to make things interesting. Needing buckets, Jacques Gubale went back to Pukalis, and the big man played bully ball. He finished with 12 points to overcome Popovic's 10 as Jacques Gubale progressed with a 21-16 dub. This is the shootout contest, the moment we crown the best sniper in the whole tournament. Steve Kerr wasn't going to break his own record, but he looked to be headed for another win when he sank 2 straight money balls to take the lead with 11. Dushan Bullet wanted to leave Nanjing a winner, and Mr. Bulletproof has been to the gun range recently. My man sank 4 straight on the middle rack, and the equation became simple. He needed 2 money balls for victory. Mr. Bulletproof missed the first, but then proved he was foolproof by coldly draining the last 2 money balls. And with a score of 13, Dushan Bullet is your Nanjing Masters shootout winner. New team Edmonton has made a big splash on the World Tour this season. Jordan Baker's inside and outside game has been vital for the Canadians, and it's a throwback for him, having been part of the first ever World Tour in 2012. 7 years later, Baker is amazed by 3x3's growth and professionalism.
2012 everything was a lot different. Obviously, the popularity of the sport wasn't the same as it is today. It was a lot of learning for us. For me as a 21-year-old, just learning about how the game was played at an international level. It was the first time we'd played against any other teams from outside North America. So it was a lot of fun, and I don't think anyone could have predicted that the game was going to grow as much as it has today. I think you don't have the ability to just now have the 4 most talented players and expect to win. Guys are coming in with a game plan, they're watching video, they're scouting, they're understanding, that 3x3 is very much the same as 5-on-5, is you need to be prepared. And so, with guys coaching the game and full-time seasons working at 3x3, the game has come so far from where it was in 2012, where, we were still kind of learning how to play, learning the rules, trying to get adjusted to how fast the game is, whereas guys now are taking it to that whole new level, making sure that they're prepared every single week to come out and perform.
Baker believes a key to perfecting 3x3 is to be patient with the shot clock.
You just can't panic when the shot clock hits 5. 5 seconds is still a lot of time. You can get a very good look in 5 seconds. So I think, you use that first 5 seconds in the shot clock, try to clear the ball, get something quick. If you can't get a quick 3, you can think about what your other options are. You can get a screen action, you can get a backdoor, you can get a slip to the rim. So many things you can do in 5 seconds. The next thing is you just got to be able to transition again to play defense right after, which is sometimes tough. I just take a lot of pride in defending and rebounding. And then offensively, I don't really try to force too much. Obviously, when you play with Steve Kerr, there's lots of space on the floor because guys are very worried about his shooting ability. So he makes it easy for everyone else on the team to just come in, do what they're comfortable doing offensively, and then on the flip side, you know, you've got to make sure you're getting stops in order to be successful.
It's time for Nanjing to rock, baby, with the dunk contest, pitting Great Britain's Joel Henry, a.k.a. the Royal Guard, against Chinese hopefuls Chen Dingxing, a.k.a. the Dunk King, and Zhang Yixun, a.k.a. Monster. Henry was the favorite, and he showed just why from the get-go with a spectacular scorpion smash in the best dunk of the early rounds.
It's just another day at the office. Easy money.
Although the Dunk King wasn't far behind with an off-the-bounce, one-handed punch over 8 volunteers that got the crowd loud like Yao Ming just showed up. Unfortunately, there was nothing scary about the monster. His injury forced him to do dunks that I do for breakfast. With more extensions than a black bearskin cap, the Royal Guard took over in the final and showed the Dunk King who really wears the crown. He took off higher than the Tower of London and threw down the vicious reverse to set the tone. The Dunk King had his moment with a nasty dunk between the legs after doing the splits mid-air, but he just couldn't keep pace. The Royal Guard's final dunk was the best of the night. Symbolizing his dominant performance, my man did a reverse over his 2 Chinese rivals, and it was a wrap.
Over 2 dudes that he just so happened to also top in the dunk competition. What a way to end it.
After claiming his first Masters title, Joel Henry takes home the $2,500 check. We've got the number 2 seeds, Lehman, and the number 3 seeds, Riga Ghetto, making it through. Number 6 seed, Shake Gubale, and number 7, Edmonton, 2 emerging powers aiming to knock off the higher seeds. First off, Edmonton liked their chances against Riga Ghetto, especially without superstar Carlos Lasmanis. Edmonton's confidence was justified when Steve Kerr splashed one from deep. Jordan Jensen-White added some sugar and spice to the game, and then opened the bank in Nanjing as the Canadians stormed clear. It appeared to be over when Jordan Baker found the recipe and scored 5 straight points to give Edmonton a handy lead. But you knew Riga Ghetto wasn't gonna go away without something to say. With a 2-ball failing him, Norris Miezis went to the rim to cut Edmonton's lead to just 2. But Kerr had the answer at the line, and Edmonton reached their 2nd straight Masters final.
I want to win it badly. It's going to take a team effort. We're going to have to work our buns off and hit knockdown shots.
World number 2 Lehman, they were favorites in the 2nd semi, but in-form Shake Gubale were clearly not scared. A Paulius Belavičius no-look pass set up the Aurelius Bukalis monster mash in an early statement from the Lithuanians. Lehman struggled early for buckets, but decided to get down low to Mihailo Vasquez, and he did the rest. Shake Gubale looked to just have more firepower in this one, with Belavičius taking over with 3 quick points as they skipped out to an early lead. Maxim Kovacevic hit back with a double dip to keep Lehman within striking distance. But Marius Ujupis landed a killer blow from downtown. Vasquez continued to be the incredible Hulk inside, but it wasn't enough. Ujupis ended it well under the time limit as Shake Gubale reached the final with a 22-17 victory.
Everyone wants to play in finals, so we put all the hearts inside the court.
Joel Henry, a.k.a. the Royal Guard, is a part of a new breed, taking dunking to new heights. The 27-year-old from Great Britain electrifies in the air, and he's got enough bounce to jump over the gates of Buckingham Palace. Henry was addicted to dunking when he first shook a rim as a teenager.
Dunking kind of came natural to me. You know, I was playing basketball from the age of 15, And it all started from like my friends in the warm-up lines always saying like, everyone was just trying to get higher, trying to get like the backboard and stuff like that. And I was like one that always kind of, you know, was able to like scrape rim. And from then I kind of just had like a bug for always like trying to just get there. And then when I was like 16, I finally like got my first dunk in the game. I was like, yeah, this is what's up. I love that feeling.
He played professional basketball at home, but the appeal of being a pro dunker proved to be too strong.
First started playing pro ball when I was like 22. As I started basketball, late, when I was 15. During that time, I was already like a dunker. So I was kind of doing both at the same time, playing pro and trying to do dunking, just like local contests. And my first dunk contest overseas was Oslo, and won that one. And I was like, yeah, this is it. I want to do this.
As a vegan, Henry's become a passionate advocate of having a plant-based diet.
I've been a vegan for like 4 years now. I'm always a person that always asks why, always asks questions, and when I realized I didn't have to consume meat to take in protein, I was like, well, why am I gonna go secondhand and get it? Why can't I just go straight to the source? Because I'm kind of good at dunking, it's like people, when they find out that I'm plant-based, they're like, wow, so they get more interested in how I kind of handle that. You know, it's kind of fashionable now as well, so.
Being now firmly a part of the 3x3 family, Henry has embraced the culture and community.
3x3 is like an angel. Literally, God sent an angel my way because it's a whole culture, you know, 3x3, man. It's really, really physical. And I love the physical aspect of that game. And I feel like there's more of a connection with the crowd and the players. So, and you know, there's a great platform for dunkers like me to go on. So 3x3, man, in my heart forever.
Dunkers perform gravity-defying feats, making them real-life superheroes.
Dunking now and dunking in the future, in my dream was going to be on a big level where dunkers will be looked at as superheroes. Dunkers, we are the new Avengers, mate. We are covered, yeah, literally.
Edmonton were out for revenge after losing on their home soil to Shake Gubale in the Montreal Masters final. Jordan Jensen-White badly wanted the dub, and he scored 4 straight points to get the Canadians rolling. When Steve Kerr is feeling it, he's masseuse-like. But Paulius Belavicius and Aurelius Pukalis, they were handling their business like a full-body massage too. Kyle Landry crashed the 2-point party, and he scored inside to keep Edmonton in the clear. When Steve Kerr drained yet another 2-ball, Edmonton could smell victory, but it wasn't done just yet. A Pukalis dunk ignited Shake Gubale, and Marnish Ujupis splashed one and gave him hope of producing the biggest comeback since Gucci Mane released Everybody Looking. But Edmonton wouldn't be denied. Fittingly, it was Jordan Jensen-White who scored the winning bucket, triggering scenes of celebration. Edmonton claimed their first Masters title, and Steve Kerr can shout the loudest "yes, sir" after winning MVP.
I don't know, I'm just beyond excited and happy that we've worked so hard to get here, and yeah, just really excited. Love you, Mom.
All right, with no further ado, it's time for the sublime, the ridiculous. It's all there, the top 5 plays of the Nanjing Masters. First off at number 5, you tell me, which one's better? The Paulius Belavicius no-look or the Aurelius Pukalis monster mash? At number 4, don't worry, continue what you're doing. Dushan Bullet isn't looking. Third on the list, Chong Ming thought they had a layup, but they got robbed by the cat burglar. Antoine Margano says no. At number 2, Nate is always great. Nate Brown must have a rearview mirror or something to pull off a ridiculous behind-the-back dime like this. At number 1, I believe I can fly. I believe I can touch the sky. I dream about it every night and day, 'cause I'm not Marcellus and Wooney. I say peace out with good news. You don't have to wait long for the next Masters. Number 11 is on the way just before the Utsunomiya final. It's going to go down October 18th and 19th in Jeddah, Saudi Arabia, as the World Tour shifts to the Middle East. Shake Gubale, Lehman, and Rigagetto will be back in action and looking for a quick bounce back after heartbreaks in Nanjing. 10 teams have already stamped their ticket to Utsunomiya. Who's going to get the final two? Remember, you can follow it live with the hashtag 3x3WT on FIBA 3x3 social media channels on YouTube, Facebook, Twitter, and Instagram.
I told you, they look focused coming into it, they got it done. Go ahead to the final, see y'all in a minute.